This is Mark, and this is VacChat. Alright, so I know that I don't think, anyway, that too many of you know, but I posted a comment, actually it was a video, on my other YouTube channel, which no one seems to know that I have. I have this channel, and then I have one of, and it has a picture of me in a blue version of this. But anyway, I posted that I think like 2 weeks ago, and it really hasn't got that many views, so I thought, hey, I'll just kind of start, maybe do a first, and I'll post it on the channel that you're used to seeing all these videos on, along with, it's kind of a dark closet, but along with that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean, all my vacuum reviews and all that fun. So yeah, so I guess I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of a talk show type thing, and let's see how this goes. Okay, so if you guys don't already know, I really don't have that much to work with. I have a camera, and I have a computer, and I don't really use the computer all that much just because it's easy to go take the video, post it on YouTube, and that's pretty much the extent of my professionalness. The biggest thing that I've done 2 videos. I've done that Hoover Preferred versus Dyson, and the rug washer, how to clean your carpet with the rug doctor. That's pretty much it, and that was just a free app that combines videos, and that's like the extent of my video editing. So don't expect a $1 million 30-minute TV show on YouTube. This is just gonna kind of be a little thing that I do just for fun, just to see how it pans out. Okay, so today's topic. I really haven't thought of this one much, but I guess our first topic will be old vacuums versus like the new vacuums, and that could be really any of them, with a few exceptions, and I'll get into that in detail, and I'll see how this goes, if it sounds like a rambling or whatever. But anyway, yeah, just like the quality and how much you pay for them, and like the overall lifetime and how much you have to buy to keep your carpets clean. I mean, anymore, I probably went over this a lot, but that Hoover convertible, the ones that I always like, with all the metal and the brush roll and the metal beater bar and all that I always rave about. Back in the day, that was all of $70 vacuum, and that was their low-end model. So that right there, and I'm doing this with the front camera, so that right there was the cheapo vacuum of its day. Now if you buy a cheap vacuum anymore, and if I get some extra pocket money and say, hey, what the heck, let's go out and get a new cheap vacuum, you'll probably go, those are in the same class. Well, in their day, yes, they would be. But most of the new ones, they're bagless, and that's like the big craze that everyone says, ooh, bagless, no bag changes, no bag expenses, ooh, that must be so much better. And in reality, it's really not, because what happens is you suck up the dirt, it goes into a bin, and there's really nothing holding it there. It just kind of spins and swirls about, and there's nothing keeping it in the bin, except for your filter. And that's really where they get you, because to keep it running right, you either have, like, just for a name, you can get this Bissell, and that's all the farther I'm going with that, just for my sake, I guess. But you can get this bagless Bissell just like anywhere, Walmart, Kmart, Big Lots, wherever. It has this bagless technology and all this great new bagless invention, blah, blah, blah. But here's where they get you. You have, I'm trying to think of where all the filters are located. You have one There's the dustbin, and then above it, there's like a bin where it all comes in. There's a plastic filter in there. You have like a filter within a filter. You have your filter at the bottom where the air comes out, and you have like 2 more filters within the vacuum. And in order to keep your vacuum running right, you have to clean all of them out on like a monthly basis. Now, how many of you knew that there was like 5 different filters in vacuum? They don't really tell you that in the instructions, and if they do, it's just kind of a brief, oh hey, there's the filter in here, filter down here, and that's it. So, the reason that I like these older vacuums, and I've kind of gone over it, I'll try to go over it, I'm not used to using this front camera, but there's metal. Even the cheap ones of the day have metal, and metal everywhere. And actually, kind of, sort of, surprisingly enough to me, the, trying to think how to say this, the expensive or the better quality Hoover, which came out, I'm not sure when it came out, but it was called the Dial-O-Matic. You can see videos of them. There's a bunch of them up. There's actually quite a bit of plastic on them. Not as much as today by any means, not at all. But there's, I think, a little more plastic on a Dial-O-Matic, which was the better vacuum, than there is on the convertible. But then again, the convertible really doesn't have that much parts, and it's really easy to fix and maintain. So, just for the heck of it, being that it's right over here, we will grab it and throw it on the bed, and I will show you what I mean by freaking metal everywhere. So, throw it down and let me just kind of see. Okay, so we have this right here. This is your brush plate. Normally on the new ones, plastic. You have your steel brushes. Let's see, maybe if I go like this, it'll work. But you have your steel beaters, which you really don't get anymore, and your nylon bristles. This is all rebuildable. At the end of the brush life, you pop this thing off, you pull this out, which is really easy to do, and then it's pretty much just like a screw, and you unscrew it and you pull it all out. Rebuildable. And that's pretty much the bottom of the vacuum. Now, everything else is right under this little plastic hood, which it is plastic, but I mean, this is probably somewhere in the early 80s, and I know that it's from the early 80s, but this is all plastic, this is plastic, this is plastic, and I think this covering right here might be plastic, but I mean, look at it, it's, with the exceptions of the scuffs and the scrapes, there's no breaks, there's no real damage. And I'm pretty sure that's where the plastic ends. In here, the motor's all metal. Even your handle on these are metal. And on the basic of the basic, because there's quality, like there's the baseline, and then there's the higher end, all in the convertible series. This one has just a plastic grip on it, and that's just part of the premium series or whatever. But yeah. But seriously, other than that, there's like no plastic on this vacuum. Your bag right here, it's like a plasticky, maybe nylon or something. All this is metal, foot releases, all the actual parts of the foot release. Let me see if I can find it. All the inner workings of this, all the inner workings of the hydrogen, all metal. I mean, they're metal vacuums. And I mean, to be quite honest, they're not all that heavy of a vacuum either. But that's the old vacuum. With your new vacuum, and I will say this, just so you know, there's a company in China Their name is Tektronic Industries, I believe. And if you buy a Hoover, a Dirt Devil, your Electrolux, Eureka, pretty much all of the big brands, you're gonna get it from that Chinese manufacturer. So really, if you buy a Hoover 1 year, of course these are disposable vacuums. You buy the Hoover the 1 year, and then you say, "Oh, I'm gonna get the Dirt Devil because that's totally different." It's actually not. It's just different features and different colors, but the motors and stuff are, wouldn't doubt that they're the same or just slightly tweaked to fit with your different features. But yeah, that's pretty much all the new vacuums are. Plastic. Have you seen one of those things lately? I mean, you have plastic handle, plastic body. Whether you get your a bagged or a bagless, it's plastic. Unless you get the soft bag, which is like this kind of puffy bag that puffs up when you use it. But you really can't find bagged vacuums at Walmart anymore. I mean, I've went around recently, like within the past 2 weeks, and I like the bag vacuums because even the crappier ones, they might not filter amazingly, but they do filter something. And that's the real big thing, because people think because they have the bagless that, oh, this has amazing HEPA filters on it. Not really. A lot of them, and there's a lot of catches to HEPA. Some just say HEPA, HEPA. Some say true HEPA. Some say HEPA media filter. Some say HEPA with periods between each of them, which is actually what it was supposed to be. But there not very many vacuums anymore are truly a HEPA filter vacuum. And some places, or some manufacturers, like Shark, have kind of came out and said, oh yeah, you need the sealed system with a HEPA filter with gaskets all over, which is true, although I did read that their vacuums really don't filter all that good. Point in case, it's a bagless, don't expect that much out of them. And yeah, you know that big yellow British inventor that made his great bagless vacuum? Don't fall for that one either. It's $500 worth of Malaysia. Not very good. They're, just for that one, their brushes for the carpet, it doesn't separate the pile and create the agitation needed. And it says strongest suction, which I have learned does have its own meaning to it. It is the pull. But if you don't have the right size tubing, you won't have enough airflow, which is what people really need for cleaning with a vacuum. If you don't have enough airflow, you're not moving enough air to move dirt, which is problematic in a lot of the vacuums because they really don't. They have pretty good suction, but they don't have very good airflow to them, which eventually does cause them to clog and break. But that's just because of how they're built. One more thing I will throw on, and I'll probably do this a lot throughout the video depending on how long it is. But one more thing that I've just thought of is the brush rolls. On some of the new ones, like some of the new Hoovers, they are actually better in cleaning ability, but they really don't last that long. What I was going to get to was the brushes in them. The brush rolls, they have plastic end caps, which basically just make it cheaper for the company to make. And what it does is, like, you're sweeping, and you might have had this happen to you if you're an older audience member, live in your own house. But you're sweeping and then it just locks up. And that would be because your brush is spinning so fast and it's creating heat but it'll actually make enough heat to melt itself, and it melts itself onto the brush roll, and it seizes the brush roll up, and you will either have to get a new vacuum or replace your brush roll. But honestly, after so long, with the poor filtration, and actually it's inner vacuum filtration, because there's two types of vacuum motors. There's one that produces suction and actually takes all the air out of your bag or bagless compartment, and that makes the vacuum pressure lower, so pressure wants to fill in, so it moves all in, and that's the type of motor that you find on most vacuums. Now, some of the commercial vacuums, just to name one, a Sanitaire, some of these older Hoovers, I'm trying to find where this dumb camera is going, but there, that's probably on it. One of those old Hoovers, they have a fan-first system, which puts your motor right over top of your dirt. And that creates a very good amount of suction and very good amount of airflow at your base. The reason that they came up with this new motor system is because on the direct airs, the tools on them really weren't all that great. I think I'm getting tools for that one, so I will be demoing those, hopefully. That will be sometime within the next 3 weeks or so. It's almost Christmas. But anyway, the tool suction really wasn't all that great, just because it wasn't really, I think because it didn't have enough time to really draw all the air. But the tool suction on them wasn't really great. So the solution was build the vacuum, and pretty much all the dirt goes through your hose, and you have good hose suction, but compromised floor cleaning. Trying to think of something else. Kind of talked about the Dysons. Not a big fan of them, if you haven't told or seen. But yeah, just the way they advertise them is pretty much what gets me. Like they say, just kind of trying to think of what they say. But like according to normal vacuum, or according to how vacuums are normally made, he like talks about how vacuums have this problem and that problem, and you need bagless because bags clog, and which is true, but they filter better, you get cleaner air. Even on the convertible that I like, it does not have a HEPA filter. It doesn't have any filter at all. It has a bag, and that's pretty much all the more the filtration. That's pretty much all the more filtration it really has. But yes, it's a really good vacuum. I like it a lot. It really gets the sand and stuff out of the carpet. But yeah, just on the one last thing on the Dyson, there is the ball technology, because apparently vacuums aren't easy enough to move, or they can only go in straight lines, which I will say, he's making a lot of loops around the truth. If you had like a single axle with a wheel on each side and it only rolled one way, like your wheel was like this, then no, you really wouldn't be able to turn that, because the wheels couldn't spin. Like, one spin backwards, one spin forward, and then you turn it. If it was like that on a solid axle, then yes, his claim would be true. But I don't even think the Hoover, the convertible, has a solid axle in it. They both kind of like pivot. They pivot on their own, or they move on their own. So, I mean, that's not true at all. Bagless, pretty much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've seen that. I'm not a big fan of that. I like the older vacuums, the older style, bagged vacuums. But, yeah, that's, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I have for this video. like, comment, subscribe. Please give me ideas, because I really think I could do something with this. If you have any questions or anything, just tell me what you think. I really just want to kind of have this channel so I can share my knowledge with you guys and just make you more informed on your next vacuum purchase. Keep you from buying a big box store vacuum. Although there are some that I would recommend over others, but that could be a different video. So, comment, subscribe. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. I'm fine with criticism. If you do a thumbs down, all I ask is just kind of put in the comments, hey, I thumbs down this, and here's why. And that's fine. I'm not going to be like, oh, you thumbs down me, I'm gonna ban you from my videos, and, honestly, criticism's good. So, tell me what you like, what you want to see. Tell me what I can do vacuum-wise, and so I can just help you guys. So I think that's going to be it for my video. This is, what did I call this? Sweeper Talk or Vacuum Chat, something like that. So, this is going to be my first episode. Hopefully more to come. So, just tell me what you guys like, what you want to know vacuum-wise, and, yeah. So, I will just put in one last thing in there. If any of you guys are Vacuum Land forumers, Discusso-vackers, I just got a profile or name, a username. So if you guys need me, I'm Hoover Kid. I'm not sure. You could like share a thread and put like, hey Hoover Kid or something like that. But yeah, so that's just gonna be, I think, my last thing for this video. So yeah, this was a fun video. I really hope you guys like it, because I'd like to make a lot more of these. So give me ideas. I need ideas. I only got a couple more. I think I can only make like 2 more of these things before I'm like ideaed out. So give me comments. Okay, this is going to be the first episode of this, because I don't want to screw up the name anymore. I'm going to stop talking and let you guys put in all your comments and your likes or dislikes. So, in the next video, goodbye.